Hello, my name is Kai Watson. Welcome to the Rangers Journal. This is episode 7 in the series 5 players Rangers could sign, and today we're focusing on Argentina because they were the winner of the poll last week. Just want to start by saying a massive shout out to Giacomo, Kobayashi, and Football Manager Argentina for the help. Reached out to them for kind of expert opinions on the players, and they were kind enough to get back to me, so give a bit better insight than I would get from just looking at numbers and footage. So let's jump straight into it. The first player is Santiago Ramos Mingo, who's a 22-year-old Argentinian centre back. 6'1", plays for Defensa Justicia obviously in Argentina, and transfer market have him valued at around 850k. Let's jump straight into some of his key stats. 11 appearances, helped the side keep 3 clean sheets. He's also managed to score 2 goals. 85% pass accuracy with 49% long ball accuracy, 1.4 interceptions per game with 1.6 tackles, 3.6 recoveries, 59% ground duels won, and 64% aerial duels won. Obviously, just looking straight at the defensive numbers there, very impressive. Obviously, the 1.4 interceptions and 1.6 tackles stand out, along with the 59% ground duels won and 64% aerial duels won. But probably my favourite thing about Mingo is the fact he's a left-footed centre back. It's obviously something that Rangers have been looking at. Ben Davies hasn't been involved pretty much at all this season, so John Souttar's been playing that side. It's always favourable to have a left footer actually playing on the left side, so he kind of fills that role. Just looking at some of the notes I got on him, so Barcelona actually signed him from Boca as a youngster, so he obviously had that pedigree as a young player. They thought it was someone that had really high potential. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for him at Barcelona, so he's ended up back in Argentina, but he's still thriving since he's returned. Good at building up from the back, very comfortable on the ball. He's also quick and reads the game very well, as you can tell from his stats. And also, aside from being left footed, my favourite thing about him is the fact that he's got the 2 goals in 11 appearances show that he's a massive threat from attacking set pieces, which is something Rangers have lacked recently. And he's pretty much exactly what Rangers are looking for in the left centre back. Comfortable on the ball, reads the game well, quick, very good passer. Obviously, he's a goal threat from attacking set pieces, which we don't have. He's obviously good at defensive set pieces as well. And being left footed to kind of cover that left centre back role, I think. The transfer market value, or they maybe undervalue him a bit at 850k. Then we'd have to pay a bit more than that. But if you're looking from anywhere for 2 to 3 million for a player that's been scouted when he was younger by Barcelona, so he's obviously got a pedigree to manage to get into La Masia and kind of be there. So I think looking at him, he's a brilliant option. Again, fee 850k, I don't think we're going to get him for, but anywhere between 2 and 3 million, I think's a great deal for someone that's 22 years old and he's exactly what we're looking for. Also, just want to point out that these stats are from the Copa de la Liga Profesional. Just obviously, the Argentine league runs a bit differently to our own, so the current stats are from the Copa de la Liga Profesional. And the next player we're going to look at is Eros Mancuso, who's a 24-year-old Argentinian right back, 5'7", currently plays for Estudiantes, and transfer market have him valued at 2 million. Well, look at some of Mancuso's key stats. So in 7 appearances, he's helped the defence keep 6 clean sheets. He's also scored 2 goals, has 78% pass accuracy with 45% long ball accuracy, 2.4 key passes per game, 58% dribble success, just under 1 interception, 3 tackles, 5.6 recoveries, and he wins 48% of ground duels. Mancuso's exactly what you need from a Rangers right back. He's likes to maraud up and down the line. He's got a bit of pace. He's obviously a very creative threat. He's a good one-on-one defender. You can see the 3 tackles average per game and the 5.6 recoveries. Shows that he reads the game well. He gets stuck into tackles, just under 1 interception as well. Kind of just highlights that. He's like I said, he's quick going forward with really good technical ability. 2.4 key passes per game, creating just under 2.5 chances per game essentially. And the 58% dribble success kind of shows how well he carries the ball up the pitch and how much of a threat he is. And I think with the rumours that obviously Steven Gerrard's looking at James Tavernier if Rangers are looking for a replacement and they don't see that in Dujon Sterling, if they see Dujon Sterling as more of a six or a winger or even covering anywhere else in the defence, I think if you're looking to directly replace James Tavernier, I think Mancuso could come in. I think he's ready for that step up to European football. He's kind of type of player that wants to get himself into the Argentina team. Might not get that at Rangers, but moving to Europe's that kind of first step in getting the Champions League and Europa League exposure. So I think he's ready for the step. I think he could seamlessly slot into that role. Next up is probably my favourite player on the list. So Aliana is a 19-year-old Argentine, plays a 6 or an 8. 5'9", currently plays with San Lorenzo and transfer market have him valued at just under a million at 900k. Looking at some of his key stats in 10 appearances this in the tournament, he's got one assist, 82% pass accuracy, 64% long ball accuracy, 1.1 key pass per game, 55% dribble success, 1.1 interception, incredible defensive numbers with 4.1 tackles and 6.3 recoveries per game. 49% ground duels won, and considering his height, 64% aerial duels won, very impressive. So again, just looking at some of the notes I got for him, so he's been performing consistently high for the last two seasons, so he's been in around the first team since he was 16, 17. He ranks very highly in all defensive stats, like you can see just above one interception, but the 4.1 tackles and 6.3 recoveries are incredibly impressive. He's a defensive playmaker who's been compared to Enzo Fernandez. Not saying he's going to ever hit that quality or he's at that quality right now, but that's the kind of player they see him as. He's likes to keep the ball moving from deep. He likes to get on the ball. He likes to be the one that starts attacks, kind of similar to how we use John Lundstrom. So I thought with the rumours of Trabzonspor being interested in Lundstrom, I don't think he would go to Trabzonspor. Again, you never know how it works with agents and the players. I think if he was going to leave and not sign a new deal, he'd probably go back down south. I think there will be interest in John Lundstrom. I think if we want to keep him, it's something that we're not going to talk him into reducing his wages because I think he's going to get really good offers from down south. And again, Trabzonspor will be throwing money at him. So if Rangers don't see the value in John Lundstrom, I think Irala's honestly the perfect replacement. He's also 19, fills the role very well, plays very similarly, just with a bit more kind of quality going forward, I'd say, compared to Lundstrom. So I think we're looking at the player trading model and looking at to replace John Lundstrom. Aliana Rala is the perfect replacement in my eyes. Moving forward into some more creative players, Alan Lascano is a 22-year-old Argentine, plays as an 8 or a 10, probably plays more as a 10, he's more creative in that role. 6 foot, currently plays for Argentinos Juniors and is valued at 2.5 million. Looking at some of his key stats, so in 11 appearances, he's got 5 goals and 1 assist, averaging 152 minutes per goal contribution, which is obviously very impressive. 77% pass accuracy with 47% long ball accuracy, 1.1 key pass per game, 54% dribble success. And just looking at these numbers, it kind of shows you how much effort he puts in on the kind of forward end of things. Like say he can play as an 8, he's probably more effective as a 10, but you look at the 1 interception, 2.3 tackles, 5.7 recoveries, 44% ground duels won, so he can play in that deeper role. Obviously Rangers have been using Mohamed Diamande in that kind of 8 role where he drives forward, gets in the ball and tries to get creative. I think Lascano could be perfect there, or in the 10 role that's kind of been filled by Lawrence and Todd Cantwell recently. The notes for Lascano say he's a creative midfielder who excels in finding pockets of space. He's really good at finding those areas that aren't occupied by the opposition to get himself on the ball and help create space for others. Very good ball carrier, you can tell that by the 54% dribble success. Scored the 5 goals, so he's a good finisher in the times he's running into the box really well. He's good at crashing the box, good at just being in the right place at the right time. Like I said previously, he's good at finding those pockets of space that aren't occupied by the opposition. Decent shot from range. None of his goals this season have come from outside the box, but he is willing to have a shot from range. He is very good technically, so he's capable of those shots from outside the box, the kind of thing we see from Tom Lawrence quite a lot, and more recently Todd Cantwell's been more willing to have those efforts. Like I said, he's very good defensively for the position. He's good at defending from the front. Those 5.7 recoveries and the 2.3 tackles show he's a good presser. He likes to win the ball high, which is obviously what Rangers like to do. Like to, as soon as we lose the ball, try and get it back. The kind of counter pressing style. So I think he'd be perfect for that playing as a 10, or if he's even playing deeper, his defensive numbers are good enough to kind of hold his own next to a more defensive 6. So I think 2.5 million's probably the going rate for Lascano. I think if you can get him for anywhere under 3.5, 4 million, you're looking at a good deal. It just depends on. Rangers obviously have a lot of players in the 8 to 10 position, so it just depends who moves in the summer if we're looking to fill that role. But if they're looking for someone to fill that, I think Lascano's a great option. Again, he's 6 foot, so he's tall for the position if he's playing further forward. Kind of very similar to how he carries himself to Mohamed Diamande. So I think, again, like I say, if we're looking for a player to fill that position, Lascano's a great option. Moving on to the last player, is probably the most high-profile player, especially if you play Football Manager. Benjamin Dominguez is a 20-year-old Argentine left winger. He's 5'8", currently plays for Gimnasia and is valued at 4.5 million. In 11 appearances, he scored 4 goals, 220 minutes per goal is very good numbers for a winger. 83% pass accuracy and long ball accuracy. Very good passer of the ball. 1.2 key passes show he's also a good creator. 49% dribble success, which is a bit lower than some of the other players, but he also has 3.1 successful attempts per game. So he's more of a volume dribbler. The more he carries the ball, obviously, the more likely he is to fail. So the fact that he's got 49% dribble success on that many successful attempts per game shows how well he carries the ball. 0.5 interceptions and the 0.8 possessions won in the final third with one tackle and 5.3 recoveries shows that he presses very well from the front. Again, kind of similar to Liscano, as soon as the ball's turned over, he's initiates that counter press and tries to win the ball back high up the pitch, which is something especially Ibrox at Rangers look to do. If you lose the ball, I like to win it high to kind of create as many chances as possible. And 41% ground duels one shows for the kind of attacking players that he can do the work and defend it from the front, which again is exactly what you need. It's what Seamus kind of done from the left when he was in, winning the ball up high, putting the defenders under constant pressure, which again is the type of thing that kind of adheres the fans to you. So I think Dominguez is good at that, which means I think he'd fit pretty well in the Rangers team. And finally, notes I have for Dominguez just points out how great a dribbler he is. He's quick and agile. He's obviously not the tallest player at 5'8", but he's got brilliant balance, so he doesn't get knocked off the ball very easily. He likes to cut inside and try and get a shot away, something we weren't used to. Obviously, when we had Kent, it's been a bit different with Sima and then Cortez when he came in, and also Silva now that they will be kind of willing to get that shot away. But Dominguez does like to cut inside from the left and get a shot away, and he's right or create for others. Again, like I say, he's a good presser, wants to win the ball back immediately, and those defensive numbers kind of highlight the effort that he puts on that end. And for a young player that's kind of seen as a more technical dribbler and an attacking player, those numbers are really impressive to show that he has the work rate and the kind of determination to win the ball back high up the pitch. I really had a lot of fun looking at the players in Argentina, and there was a lot more than five players. A couple of times I've done these videos, I've kind of struggled to get that fourth or fifth player, but I'd could have done 20 players from Argentina to be honest. Lots of exciting and interesting talents from the league. But again, I just want to give a massive shout out to Giacomo, Kobayashi, and Football Manager Argentina for the help with this video. I'll leave their links to their Twitters in the description below. But again, a massive thank you. I think it adds the legitimacy to the video, getting the opinions from actual experts who watch the league week in, week out. So again, a massive thank you for watching. We've still got lots of content coming this week. Tomorrow we have a video with This Is Mappa where we talk about Hefty, get an update on how he's doing there and how that deal kind of went in January to just get it from a Cypriot standpoint and how it was kind of seen in the media over there. And then we've obviously got a regular Friday night podcast, 7:30. Don't miss out. Please like and subscribe if you're enjoying the content and have a great day.